Pro tips from Barry's Auto Body, Staten Island's only eco-friendly, full-service auto body and mechanical repair facility. We accept all insurance companies. This video is about Headlight Restoration. Before we start any headlight restoration in Barry's Auto Body, we make sure that we tape off the outside of the headlight because the clears that you use after you're done sanding and cleaning the light, the clear that you use could actually damage rubber, or it could stick to the paint, and it's just good practice to really make sure you tape off the area well. This way you don't have any leftover residue that's hard to clean, especially on the painted areas, because if it does get on the painted areas, you don't want to be peeling the paint off while you're taking that off, which normally doesn't happen, but it's a possibility. Sandpaper we use is a Kovac. This is similar to, say, an 800 grit sandpaper. And this is Kovac. It's a dry sanding system. It's part of the Eagle sandpaper line. This is what we use in all the detailing, car wash stuff that we do at Barry's Auto Body. This is also what we use for the paint shop side of the shop, for any blocking any primers down or anything really that gets done after the body work. Anything to do with paint is all, we use all Kovac sandpaper. You see how we're sanding the whole headlight down with like an 800 grit. This is basically used for any time that you start to see on an older car, if you start to see the headlights get yellow, if there's any oxidation on the outside of the headlights. Most of the time, the majority of the time, if the headlights are getting yellow, it normally comes out because it's usually on the outside. If you had any kind of internal water leak or a problem with a headlight and it ends up starting to get yellow on the inside yellow wouldn't come out. This is obviously just for the outside, but 85% of the time everything is on the outside. And we sanded down the entire headlight complete. There's about an 800 grit sandpaper on there or lighter. Now we're going to go over it with a wax and grease remover. And this is also because we're going to be spraying a clear after this. So this is to remove all the sandpaper dust and residue and basically anything that's on the headlight has to be removed. You can wash it with soap and water also is good practice to do. That we actually did before we started sanding it down. We washed it with soap and water first. But now we're using, it's made by RM, and it's called Pre-Cleano. And what this is, it's just a wax and grease remover. It's similar to a paint thinner, but a little bit lighter. It's not as strong as a paint thinner. It's more of like a step down. Normally it goes from paint thinner to reducer, and then it will go to what we have here, a wax and grease remover. This is what we actually spray on the headlight. It's a headlight sealant by Presta. It's called Renew Light. And this we spray on the entire headlight. This basically, you see how the headlight has the sand marks and everything, but now it's clean. It doesn't have any more yellow or anything in the headlight. And anything was on. And I'm pointing at one side of the headlight. When you spray the clear on the headlight, you want to go past the headlight from end to end. You don't want to spray it just to the end of the headlight. You got to go onto the paper. That's another reason why you put the paper there. This way you don't see any lines in the headlight, and this way it'll actually help you with runs and things like that. It's one continuous spray going past the headlight by at least an inch or two past the headlight. And this way you don't have any lines, any stop points or anything on the headlight itself. Really any kind of paint that we do, any paint that you do to a car, you always want to go past the part that you're looking to paint. You never want to stop on the part that you're looking to paint. You have to go past it. This way there's no lines there. And right now we're just letting the headlight just set. It's not actually going to dry. This headlight clear actually dries from either an ultraviolet light, which we do have here. The way that we're actually going to do this particular car, though, we're going to do it the other way that it dries, which is within the sun. And spraying a second coat on there, we let it sit for a couple seconds just to set. Going to put a second coat on it. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun also in a second. That's really just to tack it up. This won't dry it, though. I could sit there with the heat gun all day. This particular material, the heat gun will tack it up a little bit just so that we can pull it out, and this way it'll help it from running, but it will only get it to a certain point. It will not dry the headlight clear. This headlight clear is actually has a 3-year warranty with it. It's the recommended headlight restoration process for Ford, GM, and a few other car manufacturers as well. And it basically, I mean, you can see it already. It almost brings the headlight. It looks like a new headlight when it's done. And it's not that time consuming to do. I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but it's not that hard or time consuming to do. And you see that we pull the car out into the sun. And this is really where it starts to dry, and this is where I'm going to put the third coat on. So I did the first 2 coats, and this third coat, headlight actually was covered, but this is just to give it a little bit of a better shine and to fill in any little surface imperfections, any scratches. And this I did outside because it's very limited how much you could dry this indoors with a heat gun, because it's not really made for that. That only tacks it up. It won't actually dry it. So we did this outside, which is where this headlight restoration kit is made to dry in the sun. Look how shiny that headlight looks. Looks like a brand new headlight. And if you notice, the car we did it on isn't even a new car. Pro tips from Barry's Auto Body, 4301 Amboy Road, Staten Island, New York. You can go to barrysautobody.com. We're in zip code 10312. Everything that we've shown in this video is for educational purposes only. This is what we do at Barry's Auto Body. We take no liability to what you do on your own car, or this is not a how-to video, and this is not to be done at home. We take no liability on anything that you've seen in this video. Thank you.